Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're doing something a little different. We're looking up, literally. We're going to dive into how a skylight can completely transform a room, taking it from kind of drab and dark to bright and inviting. Let's figure out how you can get a piece of that big blue sky right inside your house.
You know that one room in your house, right? The one that's always a bit dim, no matter how many lights you turn on? Well, what if the answer wasn't another lamp? What if it was a direct connection to actual, pure sunlight? That, my friends, is exactly what a skylight offers. I mean, when you boil it down, it's pretty simple, right? It's a window, but for your roof. But don't let that simplicity fool you. As we're about to see, this one little idea can do some seriously powerful things to make your home feel so much better.
Okay, so let's get into the why. Why would you go through the whole process of putting a window in your roof? Well, let's break down the benefits because I think a few of them might actually surprise you. Okay, so this is about way more than just making a room brighter. Think about it. You're going to use way less artificial light, and that means, yep, lower energy bills. Some models even open up to give you amazing ventilation with fresh air. Plus, it's a real upgrade that can actually boost your property value. I mean, who doesn't love a bright open space? And let's be honest, they just look absolutely fantastic. All right, so if you're on board with the why, the next big question is what? Because trust me, not all skylights are the same. Picking the right one for your space is absolutely crucial. Let's start with the basics. The fixed skylight. This is your workhorse. It's the most straightforward choice for just pure, simple light. It doesn't open or anything fancy, but it is an amazing, really cost-effective way to just flood a space with sunlight. But what if you want light and a breeze? Well, that's where ventilated skylights come in. These guys actually open up, a lot of them with a simple remote control. This makes them perfect for places that get a little steamy or hot, like kitchens and bathrooms. They're great for letting all that moisture and stale air out and that wonderful fresh air in. Okay, but what about those really tricky spots, like a closet or a small hallway where a full-on window just isn't going to work? Well, allow me to introduce the tubular skylight. People call them sun tunnels, and that's exactly what they are. It's this super clever design with the reflective tube that literally pipes sunlight down from your roof into those tiny windowless spaces. So let's do a quick recap here. Dark hallway, just need light? Go fixed. Kitchen or bathroom needing fresh air? Ventilated's your answer. And for those small, awkward spots, the tubular skylight is your hero. See, it's all about matching the skylight to what the room actually needs. Then you've got the material to think about. Glass is going to give you that crystal clear view and a really premium look. If you're watching the budget, acrylic is a solid choice. It's durable and a bit more affordable. But if you live somewhere that gets nasty weather, like hail, you'll want to look at polycarbonate. It's super impact resistant and gives you some serious peace of mind. Okay, deep breath. You've picked out the perfect skylight. Now comes the part that can feel, well, a little intimidating, the installation. But I promise, when you see it broken down, it's a totally logical, step-by-step process. So what actually happens when they install one of these things? Let's pull back the curtain and see what a pro installation really looks like. It's a pretty precise job because you want it to look great and be totally weatherproof. Any good installation is going to follow these 4 steps. First, a pro comes out and assesses everything, just to make sure your roof is good to go. Step 2 is handling all the permits and approvals, the boring but necessary stuff. Then comes the main event, the actual installation, which means careful cutting, framing, and sealing everything up tight. And finally, there's a post-installation inspection, a final once-over to make sure everything is absolutely perfect.
All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the cost. A project like this is obviously an investment, so let's get real and talk numbers. What actually goes into the price of all that glorious sunshine?
Well, a bunch of different things affect the final price tag. The type of skylight you pick and its size. Those are the big ones. The material, whether it's glass or acrylic, matters too. Then you have the fancy add-ons, like remote controls or rain sensors. And of course, your roof itself plays a huge part. A really steep, complicated roof is just going to be more work than a simple, flat one. But listen, before you get scared off by the cost, you have to think about the savings. This is pretty incredible. You could cut your energy use for lighting by up to 30%. 30%! That is a huge return on your investment that pays off year after year. And the payback doesn't stop with your energy bills. Not at all. You might even qualify for energy efficiency tax credits. We already talked about how it boosts your home's resale value, and it's a more eco-friendly way to live. So when you look at the whole picture, It's an investment that pays you back from all kinds of different angles. Which brings us to what might be the single most important step in this whole journey, finding the right person for the job. And let me be clear, this is not a weekend DIY project. You really, really need an expert.
You know, there's this quote that I think really nails why going local is so important. It says, "You're not just a number, you're a neighbor." And that's it, right? A local pro cares about their reputation in the community. They're not just working on some random house. They're working on the home of someone they might see at the grocery store.
So how do you find that perfect pro? Well, here's a little checklist to help you out. First things first, make sure they're licensed and insured. No exceptions. Then, look into their experience. And definitely read what other people are saying in online reviews. And please, always ask about warranties. You want one for the Skylight and for the workmanship. And last but not least, get a clear, detailed quote. No surprises.
And there you have it. We've gone through the whole journey, from why you'd even want a Skylight, to how to pick one, to finding the right person to install it. So the only question left is for you. Go ahead, take a look around your own home. Which room is just begging for a little more sun? Thanks so much for joining me.